But I think, so backbiting, essentially, yeah, you're like talking junk about someone behind their back. You know, yeah. I don't know if there's a, and I feel like we did talk about this during like the Tough Seed Room, maybe last year or the year before, whichever one it was, of like perhaps there's a difference when it comes to when you're making constructive comments, like when you're talking about, like, let's say we're talking about something that someone says, like we're talking about facts. This is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like, okay, I'm not talking junk about that person. So I feel, and I definitely want people to let me know, and this is something I want to actually also take back for homework and for myself. But I want to understand more is what is considered backbiting. Like if let's say you weren't there, right, and something happened somewhere, and I come back and I'm telling you like, oh, this is what happened. Like this person said this, and then this person said this, and then this person said this, and then this person said this, right? Like, so number one, that's just me recounting what happened. So I feel like that's not backbiting. I feel like that's kind of like I'm telling history of what happened. Now, given the fact that we're humans and things like that, like people see things in their own viewpoint, and the words that they may use may be based on their own biases. But nevertheless, I'm not necessarily like giving an opinion on it. And then the second thing is, let's say, for example, something political happens, and then it's a discussion in the classroom or somewhere, and you're talking, and then, there's a conversation, because even in classrooms, they have this, right? Like in political science or whatever, like, what do you guys think about this? What are the pros and cons? Do you agree? Do you disagree? When you agree with something, you talk about, here are the reasons I agree. When you disagree with something, you talk about, here are the reasons I disagree, right? And in the reasons you disagree, you're laying out like, because of this, because of that, and here's my opinion because of it, I feel like that they did this and they shouldn't have done this because this is the impact of this, blah, 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 blah. So like, again, trying to understand, would that, like, to me, I feel like that doesn't necessarily constitute as backbiting, because we're having a discussion about something and I'm giving my opinion in terms of like whether I agree, disagree, and then here are the reasons why, and here are my thoughts about